alphabet.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and everyone in the room and everyone online, who's online, we're not sure. But we're here as Dominicans, global Dominicans, and we just wanted to share with you a little bit about, oh, here comes somebody. We just wanted to share with you a little bit about why we came to the CSW and how the CSW week has impacted us. What are some of our thoughts as we go forward? So, yeah. So, who would like to start? Just say your name so that people know who we're talking to. I'm Sister Dusty. Anybody?
I'm Veli from South Africa, Durban.
Okay.
Can they see us?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. I'm Judith Bedford, Adrian, Dominican.
Kathleen Nolan, Adrian Dominican.
Talk to the middle there.
Oh, to
It's-
the
The
middle.
camera is there in the center, so
Oh.
they can see all of you.
I'm Sister Janet.
Pam McDonald, Adrian.
Pat Leonard, Adrian.
Les Colecito from the Philippines, but Adrian.
It's Saru from Zimbabwe, Dominican Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart.
Great. Well, thank you, sisters, for just being with us this afternoon, and we thank all of you who are online with us. So, why did you come to the CSW?
First, I would say that the conference invited me. You know, I'm with the enactment on women, and I have been into this work just recently, and then I wanted to learn more. But knowing the theme of this year's conference is like on technology, and I was so glad that this is the theme, because according to my research, one of the abuses that are directed to women is digital abuse. And I guess this will contribute to my own the knowledge that I will have in working with women who are abused.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Les. Good response. Anyone else want to respond to why did you come to the CSW? Kind of a long way to come.
Yes, it is a long way, and I am very thankful and grateful that I had this opportunity. The issues of digitalization that is being talked about at the conference, I think they are key for me in my work as an educator, working with young people, especially the girl child. I think it will help me also to empower them.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Well, I've been wanting to come to this conference for the past 5 years, I think, and in 2020, a week before I was ready to come, COVID struck and we were shut down. So this is just, I've always wanted to come because I so value this kind of a gathering, especially one that includes women from all over the world, to hear the stories of the women. There's such a sense of unity and oneness. You realize that although women are from all over the world, we are united in so many ways in terms of our values, in terms of how we perceive the world, in terms of how we see the importance of education, the digital divide and how important that is. So just being with all these women from all over the world, and it's just a very energizing, empowering, and uplifting and hopeful. And I hear that, I've heard several times that it could take 260 years to achieve gender equality, and I don't believe it. I think it's gonna happen sooner.
So, any insights that you've gained while you've been here at the CSW? Is there any particular talk or phrase that you've been mulling around in your head since you came here that you've heard?
Well, what impacts me is, I've never heard of the Commission on the Status of Men. And I look at that reality, it's funny, but it's not funny, it's sad. And as I've said before, every woman has their own story. And we are a world community of females. And I think we need to know one another's stories. And I have been enlightened by those of you who have enriched me from the perspective of your life that I don't know. And I'm embracing newness of a world community, and women are designed, we have a midwife among us. Women are designed to give life, and so often life is taken away. So I think I see a real unifying force, and all the talks I've heard so far have common threads that can relate.
Thank you. Is there any workshop that, or webinar or live session that you attended that has moved you in any special kind of way?
Yes, yesterday we attended a workshop conference on domestic violence, and there was a speaker from Turkey, and hearing her story is just ridiculous. She was abused of, unimaginable reasons, abused by men, and the reasons for this abuse, it's like it's nowhere logically, the truth. There's nothing truth in that. And then I thought women are abused simply because they're women. That's my thought.
I liked the one on the experiences of women in Iran and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yes, the experiences, what the abuses that they are facing, cultural, religious, and how they don't have that aspect of freedom. So I feel the conference has opened another door just to know what other women from other worlds are facing.
Thank you. We heard that.
Oh, I liked the talk. There's a woman from Afghanistan talking about how they are deprived of their rights to education. There was a group of women who fled to Rwanda, how they used technology, to get in touch with other women from other parts of the world, and for the women in Afghanistan, just to give them hope to carry on. So I really saw the power of technology, where your voice, you can't have your voice, but using the technology, you can, have your voice heard, not only in your space, but globally. So that was very powerful for me.
Thank you.
Yes, I would say the magnification of women's voices. If there's anything that I've heard during this time, it's the commonality of women's voices in their needs for education, for healthcare, for ability to work and to study. Those are common needs, and the overwhelming voices, it's magnified over and over and over again. So that gives me hope that someday there will be solutions to this, and we will claim our power and our place in this world. It's going to happen.
Any reservations about being here at the Commission on the Status of Women?
Well, one thing I think, and this is going to sound maybe, I don't know, but they need to have some religious women organize this conference. Because there is a certain amount of lack of organization that Yes. They could benefit. Sisters know how to run conferences.
Yeah, it was really disturbing the other day when we were all lined up so nice and neatly
Oh,
inside the UN to get our secondary passes.
Right.
When all of a sudden they said, oh, no, it's over there. And as a herd, we went over there
Yeah.
instead of lining it in an orderly fashion. And then they said, oh, no, not here, over there. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very disconcerting.
Yeah.
And so then a lot of people just said, okay, I don't need that secondary pass. I'm not going to that event.
You know, if there's supposedly 6,000 to 8,000 women here from around the world. Translation, et cetera, et cetera. But if once a conference is sold out or filled with 700 people, that eliminates a huge number of people that would like to attend. Why doesn't that then go into virtual? So that more people could benefit. If we can do some virtually, why can't we do the overflow as a virtual?
Some of that is related to expenses. It's related that not every room at the UN is equipped, quite frankly. Sort of like we're lucky, here we are in the J-Corps office. On the 7th floor of the church center, and we have some of the technology so that we can, if there was a need for overflow, we can do it from here. But that's not true at the UN. And unfortunately, every room where you thought you wanted to do be a hybrid, virtual and in person, you have to pay extra money for every single thing. So it's not every organization that it's at the event that has the finances to cover all of those.
Yeah, that helps.
That's a big part of that.
That brings forgiveness to my heart.
I'm sure everyone at the UN would appreciate that.
But
Yeah.
we still have to, I mean, maybe we have to seek funding. I mean, maybe that's something we can do as, you know, we have to help the UN become fully funded so that it can do their United Nations work and really help a global community.
Well said, well said, yeah.
Mhm.
So any parting word, anything you want to say to women out there in the world who might be listening to us, who might be thinking about coming to the next Commission on the Status of Women next year? I'm not sure yet if they've identified the theme. I haven't heard, but I must say I haven't looked to see. But so how would you invite women to participate in the next Commission on the Status of Women? Would you?
Yes, definitely. It's an opportunity to, like I said, experience, have the experience of hearing other women speak in the same voice. And so, you know, you're not alone. You have a sense now, you go away feeling like there's women all over the world who are working and have the same values that you do. And the other thing is just being able to network, collaborate, learn about other groups and how you can get together with other groups. It's the collaboration that is so key, because we can't do it by ourselves.
I was thinking of one of our sisters who stood in line on Sunday, no, not on Sunday, but on Monday, with a couple of thousand of them, I think. Anyway, but one of the advantages that she had while she was standing there, she got to talk to all these women.
Yes.
And in the end, they did a group photo.
Yeah.
And there must be about 20 of them that she got connected with. And it's so precious that it was such a symbol of what it means to be together here at the Commission on the Status of Women. So I was grateful that Judy sent us her picture,
Right.
and we really had a great time. I think one of the ways we as women religious and as Dominican sisters gathered on Sunday afternoon after we got our badges, we gathered with other Dominicans from around the area here in New York. And then in the end, as a way of kind of, it's sort of like a prayer, we did one of the universal dances of peace together and formed this magnificent circle of peace and dance. And as we moved, there was something about the movement that was just really special. And that helped us also become one. And we have become one as we've had more and more conversations throughout the evening. And then we all found out that we could actually move right and left together and in the center and raise our hands. So it was really very special. So thank you all very much for this opportunity to have this conversation. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
I wish you
Yeah.
would.
So I would love to know, since each of you is coming to this conference with your own sometimes long histories, different experiences of one, I mean, empowering yourselves as women and through your congregations, which is, to my mind, a huge structure of empowerment for women. But also through the various ministries that you all have been engaged in. So I just wondered if you each might say a couple words about kind of what background or insight you are really hoping to bring into the conversation of this conference. And then if you have something as well, one thing that you're thinking you might take away back to your places of origin.
My most recent ministry was, well, I'm a social worker, but my most recent was working with the homeless down in Florida. And prior to that, I was, Kathy and I did ministry with ex-offenders in Chicago. And I think I felt it more in Florida is when you really face women who have, a lot of them have mental illness, but they've been abused by the guys that they hang with and for protection, but it's really not protection. But it's, being a social worker, I'd like to get into the lives of the people that I'm with to have them tell me their story so that, I mean, when you hear people's stories, it touches me. And that's what I've really liked about this gathering, and even standing in the street when we were talking to Sabrina from India, and with the sisters here and Rose, who's not here, just the interaction, how that fills you.
My work over the years has been in mental health and education, as well as working with people who've been molested and experienced sexual abuse, and see how that permeates life on a day-to-day basis. And more recently, I'm involved in human trafficking and raising those consciousness. So I see a continual design in society to suppress others on multiple levels. But a conference like this, I find very uplifting, because we're talking about the deeper issues that penetrate the soul. And we have to take care of the soul to take care of the body, and then spread the good word. So I see all of our work and all our experience as very interrelated, and women constantly move toward human wholeness, toward human betterment. So it's exciting to be on the journey with all of you.
And also being in the education sector, I feel that one thing that I will carry with me back home is the aspect of women empowerment and working with the girl child. I've started now to say, with this digitalization that is coming, with the aspect of artificial intelligence, it's time now to allow the girls to be more creative in their practicals, even when they interact with the computers, on the internet, to give them more chances of developing skills in these issues of, even when it comes to STEM. It's one thing also at our school that you'll find that the science department is a bit limited in the numbers because of the resources that we have. but that aspect of expanding so that you give the girls more chances. And also not that, but it's about redefining what women empowerment is, because sometimes we just talk about it at that level and maybe not even giving more details, but it's on the issues of gender equality that now I see that actually it does not mean that the abuses that are happening, gender-based violence is only maybe happening to the women out there, but it can also happen online for the even for the sisters who are in leadership. So it's those are the things that inspired me to say it's not limited only maybe to women who are out there, but the abuse can also happen to women leaders who are leading. Yes. Thank you.
For me, what I take with me is women empowerment, because I work in the hospital. I'm a physical therapist by profession. So when you do physical therapy, sometimes you expose body parts. So we've had cases where women will choose not to come for physical therapy because they are afraid that you will see that they were being abused. So for me, is to encourage them, to empower them, at least to be able to tell their stories to each other. And also, yesterday they spoke about in other parts of the world, women, they found it difficult to define what gender-based violence is, what abuse is, because for them it's normal. That's all, it has become normal. Just for me, based on what I've gained here, is to enlighten them, to empower them. And that's what I take with me here, because most of our women, especially in the African context, they would rather isolate themselves, they would rather protect their men than going out and talk about these issues that affect them daily.
For me, I understand that we are coming from different cultural perspective, and there are practices in cultures, in other cultures, that is normal or are normal, but abnormal, not normal in other cultures. But there is a common, this is a myth, and I believe this is a myth, that women are secondary citizens. And I would like to share this to the global women, that we are not second-class citizens, because we hold the same dignity with our male counterparts. We have the same dignity, and we have to be respected as women. That's it.
So another aspect that I take with me, when I go back home, I'll share with our sisters. We have sisters who teach in schools where there are boys and girls, but our main focus as Dominican sisters is on the girl child. But there are boys there. We need to include them, because most of the time they are the perpetrators of gender-based violence. So just to include them at a younger age, because they come from first grade. So we can teach them while they are young. We need to sensitize them about these issues, so that they can go out there and change the mindset of older men out there. Because I feel like they are left behind, and
I was a midwife for almost 30 years. And in my practice, and in our practice, we worked hard to empower the women. And it wouldn't be unusual for a woman to say, I don't want a girl child, I want a boy child. And I would say, why? And she said, because it's so hard for women. And I said, women are half of the population of the earth. And so we have to educate our young girls. We have to give them the power and the encouragement. And so if you have a girl child, you must love her into a fullness so that she can really participate and learn with a full heart. As opposed to, gee, I'm not number one, but so we really have to empower women to want girl children so that they can really raise them to be powerful and good women that will support a world that's coming into being, really.
I think that one of the roles here as a UN representative for Dominican Leadership Conference is to really to invite this kind of conversation among more Dominicans globally. And that's why I'm so grateful that all of you could come this year, because this is an opportunity for us then to take this message, whatever messages we're receiving here this week, out to further to other Dominicans, and then invite them to actually participate more in some of the conferences that are here at the UN. But also, you might not know, we're here in the office of JCOR, which is the Justice Coalition of Religious here at the United Nations, and our JCOR office sponsors all kinds of possibilities. They sponsor tool guides, is so that people will know how to participate even at a distance. Because we're talking about technology, and we need to really keep that in our forward this week and next week, that technology has the potential to add to our education and to our knowledge, but also to help us to network better among each other. That's what technology, some of the areas of technology can do. But I think part of the role of an NGO coordinator sometimes is difficult. How do you reach out to all these people? So I need all of you. You're the new ambassadors for the United Nations for the Dominican Leadership Conference. And you are the ones who will take this message out to more of our Dominican friends. You all have friends everywhere. And we have a large network, but we need to increase the knowledge among us about what it is that we can do together as Dominicans, not separately. And I think I've heard that a lot today about the purpose of collaboration and how important that is, that we start collaborating with more, and not just our own, I mean Dominicans, but also all the people that are in our spheres, wherever we are, that we actually need to include more people, and then have them get networked with us. You know, so that we can understand better, enlarge our knowledge and our information systems, because without that, we're somewhat, what's the word, naive, somewhat ignorant. And so the more that we can learn from others and get their input, the more effective we're going to be as a coalition and as Dominicans. So thank you for that question, Teresa. And so on that note, I think we'll just say thank you all for joining us, and thank you, sisters, for being willing to talk a little bit about why you came to the Commission on the Status of Women in the year, what is this, 2023? And at this time, and in this office, and we're so grateful to JCOR to host us and to host others that will be joining the platform throughout this week and next. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. Thanks to those who are watching us online and will watch us later.